Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. This is going to be part one of the July 2024 bargain bead box. That's the Desert Sands collection. I have only dived into this box just a little bit. I'm going to tell you why. I did do one set of jewelry, so the earrings, bracelet, and a pendant for you today. But when this video does come out, I'm already going to be gone on my holiday. I'm going to the island. I'm going to be taking care of my little baby granddaughter. I'm so excited about that. Going back to my hometown, just being able to take her around to where I grew up. So I'm really excited. So I am getting this video out. I'm going to try to get this video out earlier. It may go up before Friday. So I hope that's okay with everybody, because I know I said I was doing my videos on Fridays. So I may put it up a couple of days early, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I will actually be gone. I may take my computer with me and then do it while I'm on the road. I'm just not sure how everything's going to work out. Before we begin, please like the video. If you do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like the content here, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of upcoming videos. All right, let's get into it. For our first project from the Desert Sands collection, this is July 2024 collection, we are going to be using the 3mm lapis lazuli micro faceted round beads. Aren't these pretty? This is number 4 on your list. We're going to be using all 4 pieces of the 17mm sterling silver plated brass textured rectangular links. Now these, being number 14 on your list, have a hole on either side. Now I'm curious to see how these wear with wear, because they are sterling silver plated. Not sure. We're also going to be using 2 pieces of 17mm sterling silver plated brass textured rectangular charms. These are number 13 on your list, and the difference between these and the last ones is that this one only has the one hole on it. So they're the same size as the last one's, number 14, just with the one hole. We are also going to be using the 33 by 25mm stainless steel textured rectangular pendant. This is number 12 on your list. Now this is interesting because they're giving you the stainless steel pendant, but these two here are sterling silver plated. So not really sure why the difference there, but this is very interesting, this piece. And from what I can see, it does have a front and a back. So this is the back, it looks like. This is the front. This is a 4 by 4mm by 2mm brass diamond cut jewelry chain. This is number 17 on your list. Now normally they give us stainless steel. I prefer stainless steel. I just find that it has a durability, really good durability. So again, being brass diamond cut, or being brass, I'm really curious to see how this is going to wear if you wear it a lot. So I'm not really sure which wire I'm going to use. I haven't made up my mind yet. This is a 20 gauge silver tarnish free wire from Pair Wire. I also have this wire here. Now this is German style wire. This is 24 gauge. I'm not really sure if I want to use the 24 gauge. This is very small wire. They call it a fancy round. I don't know if you can see, but it kind of looks like a rope weaved. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try a couple pieces and just see which one I like best. And of course, the usual tools: flush cutters, round nose pliers, flat nose pliers, and to straighten the wire, I like to use nylon jaw pliers. Just saves the wire. If you're using coated wire, like I am today, these do work, but I wouldn't straighten it too much. It can take the coating off, so you don't really want to do that. We're going to clear this off and we're going to get started. Okay, so we're going to make this earring here first. So I had originally decided I was going to use a 20 gauge wire, but I can't. The 20 gauge wire won't go through the lapis lazuli, so I decided to go down a gauge and use a 22 gauge, which I checked to make sure that it would go through these beads here. They do. So I've cut myself a 9-inch piece of the 22 gauge. And first thing you want to do, I'm just going to move these out of the way here so that it doesn't get in the way. First thing you want to do is go down about 1.5 inches from the top, about 1.5 inches. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to go on the second mark on my pliers, right there. I'm going to do a loop on the top. So you want to make that loop like we normally do. You can see that's what it looks like, and you should have a fairly about 1 inch and 1.75 inch tail. I'm going to put my pliers back in there, and because this wire is so pliable, you don't need another set of pliers to wrap this around. But it's a good idea to leave it on the plier like this so that you have a little bit of stability, and just start wrapping your wire around the main wire. And I'm going to do six wraps here and try to make it so that they are as close to each other as possible. So go slow. Now that is 6 right there. I've done 6, and I'm going to trim off to the back of this loop. Oh, I need more trimmed off. I'm just going to press that in, and then I'm going to pull these up. I want them to be close together, so I'm just going to adjust those. And then you can see it's a little crooked, just straighten it. So that's what you should have now. This is going to be my front. You're going to take your little rectangle charm and make sure you're on the front. You're going to take your wire and you're going to put it through the hole on the top of the charm until you get to approximately there. You want to leave just a slight little bit of wire, bare wire, because you're going to bend this up. So we're going to bend it up, and that's how it's going to sit. Now I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to wrap it around once. I'm going to wrap it around the bail here. Okay, so just keep your finger fairly close. You know, just go slow. It may, this bail here may get out of shape. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Just try to do your best to keep it in place. As you can see, mine is already bent a little bit. It's not a big deal. And then I'm going to come around like this. Now I'm ready. So I'm just going to adjust this again, just have it straight. And this is what you should have so far. So now you're going to add some of your lapis lazulis, as you can see in this earring here. So I'm going to add 1 lapis lazuli. That's such a weird name. That's such a strange but cute name. Okay, now just hold that bead in place and start wrapping the wire around this bead like that. Now that I have that wrapped around the bead, I want to take this wire and do 1 wrap around the charm, just to tighten that up a little, like that. So now we're back to the front again. You can see I went through the back, I went over the back and back to the front. And I'm going to add maybe a little loop first. So I'm going to do a little loop, I think. I'm going to hold the wire just in this corner here. I'm going to pull it up. And as you can see, I made a little loop. It's kind of hard to see on that silver. And I'm going to add another lapis lazuli. This one's almost a green, but it's beautiful. Now I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to wrap it around. And at this point, you can go the other way if you want to. It's kind of nice to do a little different, you know, loops around the beads. So I'm going to go around this bead. And then I'm going to take the wire again and go around the charm once. So like that. I'm going to add another bead. And you can do a loop around the bead, or you can do a loop around the charm. It's completely up to you. I think I'm just going to do an actual loop in front of the bead. So I'm going to do that. Didn't quite work the way I wanted, so just press the wire over and down, and you have your loop. Okay, and then I'm going to add another bead. I think I'm going to do a loop around the bead. Okay, so I've done my loop, and I'm going to go around that charm one more time. So this is what we've got so far. I'm going to add one more bead because on this one here I only have 5 lapis lazuli, so that'll give us 5 on this one as well. And be careful not to bend your wire too much because it will make it hard for the beads to go on. The 22 gauge is probably the maximum you're going to be able to use with these beads. And I'm going to make one more loop. And that is where we are at the moment. So now I want to finish off, so I'm going to cut this wire, and I'm only going to leave approximately 1/4 inch on here. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to grab the end of this wire and just do a really tight loop. I'm going to press it down onto the charm. Being careful not to scratch this wire. And then I'm just going to press these wires down a little bit over the beads just to hold everything in place a little bit better. And go gentle, go slow. Press it down. And there we are finished the earring focal. I'm just going to double check and make sure everything's straight the way I like it. Now, I didn't mention this, and I forgot to mention this in the intro, like in my my supplies intro. You do need an ear wire. They don't give you ear wires in this collection this month. And there is the easiest but cute pair of earrings. Oh my goodness, I love these. I had actually thought about making a pair of earrings similar to this, but with copper. Still can do that, but the blue with the silver, what a stunning combination. A contrast of colors, it just makes it look beautiful. And they didn't take us long at all. All right, let's work on our pendant. So this is the pendant here. We're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to use the same lapis lazulis because I want these to match. For the pendant, I am using 22 gauge wire again, but this time I cut an 18-inch piece. And we're going to do the exact same thing, only this time I'm going to use the largest notch on my pliers. I'm going to go down about 2 inches on this one, okay? Maybe a little bit more. And the wire is going to want to move around, trust me. Okay, now I've made my bend in the wire like that. I'm going to go around. Do the same exact thing. Holding that main wire, you're going to press this around. I'm going to go around, I don't know how many times I'll go this time. Maybe we'll do the same 6. There. So this is what you have. I'm not going to cut this wire here because I haven't decided if I'm actually going to use it in the design, and I think I will. It'll just stabilize it a little bit more. So I'm going to put it through the top hole of the pendant, go up, and what you want is not for the loop to sit like this, okay? Because this is going to be a pendant, it's going to go through, the chain's got to go through it. You want it to sit like that. Take your wire, make sure your loop is sitting this way. Now I'm going to bend it up. And now you can see better how that loop is going to be sitting. I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go above that little tail we have there. Kind of bend it down a little bit. And go around, keeping it nice and tight. You want it to be fairly tight around. There. And if you find it's not tight enough, just take your pliers and pull. Gently pull. So I'm going to take one of the lapis lazulis and let it fall all the way to your pendant. I'm going to move this tail out of the way. And at this point, you can do a loop around that bead. Just hold the bead in place and pull the wire this way, or whichever way you decide to do your loop around there. And you've got one bead wrapped and done. From here, I'm going to do a loop, just a loop with nothing on it. I think I'm going to go in the opposite direction here though. So I'm going to start pushing my wire to do another little something here. If you're not comfortable with doing this with your fingers, you can always grab a pair of pliers if that makes you more comfortable. So we've got that. Now I'm going to add a bead. So I've added another bead. I'm going to do another wrap around the bead, this bead. And now I'm going to go under and around the pendant. And we're going to come out the front. So like that. So that's what we have so far. I'm going to put another one in there, up here a little bit. I want it to sit in that groove. You can see there's a groove there. I want it to sit there. And I'm going to go and do another little loop around that bead. Like that. And then I'm going to mimic this loop here with this wire. So I'm going to do that again because I think that looks really nice. Just gives it a really interesting, you know, look. So I'm going to put another bead in that little groove there. And I'm going to twist it in the opposite direction of this bead. So I'm going to go back the other way. And I'm going to take this wire now and go back to the back of the pendant and come around to this side. Like that. I'm going to take this main wire and I'm going to put it through the loop we just created. So just be careful with your wire. Go very slowly because you don't want to bend that wire too much. You want it to keep its loopy shape, if that makes any sense. You want to keep the flow of wire like so. You can see this one is out of shape a little bit. And that just stabilizes the piece. Now I'm going to add a lapis lazuli back to my wire again. I'm going to have it rest right inside that loop. Okay, so I've added a lapis lazuli. I'm having it rest inside the loop we just created, or the loop we just went through. Now I'm going to go around, holding that bead in place. And I think I'm going to do 2 loops around this guy this time, just to give a little bit different look, like that. I'm going to add another bead. And I want it to sit in that groove. So I'm going to go the opposite direction with this one. And I'm going to do it one more time, just to stabilize this piece. And then I'm going to go down. So I've done another loop around that bead there, and I'm going to go down like that. And I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go underneath the one cross on the back that I did. And pull it up. I'm going to pull it with my nylon pliers just so I don't scratch the wire. Now I'm going to bring this wire to the front again, and I'm going to make a loop right here. Just hold your wire in place because it's going to be a little funky here for a minute. Like that. And I'm going to get it so that it comes back down this way. And I'm going to straighten this wire a little bit. So got a little bit of a bend in the wire there. I think I'll add 2 and just see what it looks like. See if that's going to look any good. No. Okay, I'm just going to take that off and add the 1. Now we could put a loop around that, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to leave it. We're going to go down. So back here, I want to finish this off. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go through the first wire that was pulled around the pendant. So I'm going to take my pliers and I am going to bend it. Now make sure that you hold the bottom of this. You don't want this to pop out. Keep checking the front, make sure everything's sitting where you want it to. And we're going to take this wire. I think I'm going to trim off a little bit. It's a little bit too long. Okay, so that's how much we have left, if you can see it. I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to go around just gently. Now I've created a loop around the back. This is what the back looks like. Now we still are left with this piece, and I didn't want to cut this off. I'm going to cut it here, right there, and then I'm just going to loop it around this bail. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to press it up into that bail. All right, and there we go. That's not going to scratch anyone. I'm going to press these down as best I can just to get them a little, you know, closer to the pendant. Back here, I'm just going to bend these a little bit just to get them nice and tight. This tightens everything up so nothing is loose. And this one as well. Now everything's nice and tight, and there we go. Now this pendant matches these cute little earrings that we just finished, and it looks awesome with the chain. Okay guys, we are going to make this link here, and because we have 4 of these links, we're going to make 4 of them. So you're going to take your 22 gauge wire. We'll cut a 13-inch piece. So we've got 13 inches here. We're going to take our next link, and this is really easy guys, seriously, very, very easy. What you're going to do is bring your 2 pieces of wire together, so the ends like that, and whichever whichever side you want up. I'm going to push the wire up through the 2 holes in the link and gently start pulling it down, keeping those wires here as even as possible. So keep going gently. Try not to bend your wire, just shape it, if that makes any sense. Keep going. And there. So you're going to have this little loop at the end. Don't worry about that. Just press it down. Okay. And now we have our link and the 2 ends here. So what you want to do first is we're going to make the 2 loops, and I'm going to use my pliers. I'm going to use the number 2 notch on my pliers, so that's right about there. So with the front facing you, attach your, put your pliers on your wire And you can put your pliers right up against that link and bend it, adjust, and then bend it around again. Adjust, keep adjusting your pliers as you go. Okay, and now we're going to make two loops here. Just 1, 2, and that's all. And have your wire coming out the front. Do the same on the other side. Adjust and bring that around. This wire can be a little bit gnarly, so just be patient. Okay, and then you're going to bring that wire around twice. 1 and 2, and have it come out the front. So this is where we are at. I'm going to straighten my wire just once or twice because the little beads that we're going to use, same as we used for the earring and the pendant, are not going to go on there nicely if the wire is bent. Okay, so now we're ready to start our piece. So I'm going to take this first wire, I'm going to just start with the right side. I'm going to hold that loop in place and bring it around. And I'm going to bring it around the back and then back around the front. And you're going to add your first bead. So I've added my first bead. I'm going to go around again and add another bead. I'm going to try to hold that one up. It's probably not going to stay there, but okay. And then I'm going to go around again and add another bead. And I'm going to do one more and add another bead. I'm going to turn my work around here. I'm going to add one more bead. So I've got 4 beads on there. I'm going to bring this long wire forward. I'm going to take this wire and then come around like that. I'm going to make a couple of wraps around this one loop here just to finish this off. And like I said, this is very easy to do. This is very easy link to do. And I'm going to have this piece, the end piece, I'm going to cut it to the front. And the reason I'm cutting it to the front is because I don't want it to scratch the wearer. You can hide it in the front pretty easy. Just like that. Just press and turn gently with this wire since it is coated. Okay. There. Now we've got our beads in place. Now you gotta kind of move these beads around a little bit. I'm just gonna take this wire and I am gonna start going around and making loops here. And just looping the wire around beads as I please. You can do this one this way. This part is totally up to you what you want to do. And here I am right here. And I'm going to wrap that around the bead. Actually, no. This one I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm just going to go around the link to the back, up, and get ready to wrap my tail around this link, around this loop here. So I'm going to make a few wraps. I think I did 3 wraps here, so I'm going to make 3 wraps on this side. 1, 2, and then 3, and cut it off. And press it in. And then, like always, I'm going to press these wires down just to strengthen them, keep them in place a little bit better. And then I'm going to bend those loops slightly in. or out towards the back, I guess, like that. So now I've got 2 done. All right, now make 2 more like that, and we'll be back. Okay, my 4 links are done. Now I'm going to take some of this chain. So between each of these, I'm going to put 3 links of chain, plus I have some jump rings that I'm going to use. I'm going to cut 3 link pieces. So I've got 3 link pieces to make sure I'm right here. Yes, okay. Okay, so I've added 1 jump ring to one of the links or one of the chain pieces, and I'm going to add it to here. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I think these are 2 mil 21 gauge jump rings. And I'm going to do the same thing this side here. And I'm going to add the next link. And the nice thing about this chain is it's just big enough to utilize these jump rings. So like I said, these are 2 millimeter 21 gauge. So they did give us some toggle clasps. So they gave us 3 pair. So this is number 18 on your list. These are 18 millimeter open square toggle clasps, very pretty. Okay, so here is part 1. So this is a whole set that I did. I think it turned out very unique. When presented with, this pendant, these links, and these links here, I immediately knew that I wanted to do something along this line. Like I said, I'd had thoughts about this in copper, hammering copper and doing this type of thing. So when I saw these, I thought, well, you know what? I'll do it in the silver with the blue lapis lazuli. And I added a toggle clasp to the end of this chain here with my own jump rings. And this is an 18-inch, this is an 18-inch chain that I cut for this pendant. I think it turned out really pretty. It's very unique. If you like the blue and the silver together, I think it turned out really nice. With the matching earrings, of course. I love these. I do love silver. I wear a lot of silver jewelry, so they really match each other quite nicely. My favorite is the bracelet. I am a bracelet lover. I have lots of bracelets, and I think this turned out really nice. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed these pieces that we did here today. I really enjoyed doing these. I actually had plans to do something similar, but it was with copper, hammered copper, and some of my smaller wire that I wanted to try. It had this image in my head. So when I got these in the mail and saw the flat links and everything, I knew right now it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it. Anyway, I'd love to know if you guys try any of these designs. Okay, you guys have a great day, and I will see you for my next one. Bye.